Of all the threats to peace and the future of the world, this is probably the focus of one of the most important ones. What happens in North Korea with peace among their neighbors and with the control of nuclear weapons is one of the most vital, unaddressed issues on earth.
Yeah.
We're here as a group of elders. We received our invitation from the top leaders in North Korea.
Well, I'm delighted to be here. I think it's a fascinating country, and it's full of contrasts because the place where we're staying is splendid. The meal we had was luxurious, and yet we know that many people in this country are without enough calories per day, and it's full of kind of splendid buildings that evoke the idea that the state is the centre of people's lives, and so I'm really fascinated, and I hope that we can manage to actually make some kind of a way of creating an enabling environment for this country to open up so that it can address its problems.
I think the atmosphere is one of a society that is totally regimented. The people seem to be without any inclination to express their displeasure with their circumstances, even though they're suffering from starvation and deprivation of normal human elements that we take for granted. The people are resolved to speak with a unified voice on all, I'd say, controversial issues. They seem to be unanimously eager to have dialogue with the outside world, with the United States, with South Korea, or either in the forum of the six-power talks. Other nations seem to be reluctant to resume those dialogues for various reasons, but I think this has been the unanimous opinion we've had from all elements of a North Korean society.
We have to quickly get the parties to talks because there are many outstanding issues. I don't think we have heard so far anyone mentioning any issues that couldn't be discussed.
We understand that from the World Food Program and others that a third of the children there are malnourished and stunted in their growth because of a deprivation of adequate food supplies. And as you know, South Korea is not sending them any food anymore, and the other nations in the world have cut back, so we're very concerned about that particular issue.
So it's a dramatic situation when young children don't get sufficient nutrition, and it's not only a question of life and death, but of permanent damage.
I think it was very good that we went to the distribution centre. We saw what they had left for April, the bags at the end, and we understood that the grams that they're giving out is less than it was earlier because of the food shortage, and will go down more seriously in May.
There is a crisis in the making, and we don't want that crisis to happen. And this is why we are appealing for resources for these people so that they can master the time to cross over until they can have the next harvest, which is in September.
So everybody told us before coming here that you always get last-minute surprises, and there wasn't any last-minute surprise in the making. We had a very dull morning. We were not really happy with the outcomes of the meeting so far. We're on the way to the airport, kind of thinking, okay, next stop Seoul, and there comes the phone call. Turn around, somebody high level is going to meet you. We have no clue where we're going to meet. We're sitting here waiting. Plane will have to be delayed, but it is definitely a last-minute surprise, as somebody had predicted.
Chairman and General Secretary Kim Jong Il sent word that he is willing, and the people of North Korea are willing, to negotiate with South Korea, or with the United States, or with the six powers, the other five powers, on any subject, at any time, and without any preconditions. He specifically told us that he is prepared for a summit meeting directly with President Lee Myung-bak at any time and to discuss any issues directly between the two heads of state.
My conclusion is that parties have to, instead of demanding bilateral action from each other, we have to encourage them to get together and start talking all the outstanding issues, because only that will prove whether the impressions are right, that there is a serious search for peaceful solution of the conflict.
I think that Martti has put his finger on the most important element of need, and that is for all people to be flexible and sit down and start talking. That's the only way we can make progress toward peace and the end of nuclear threats in this hemisphere.